What's up, YouTube? Devil's Details Diecast back here with our Wastelands series. Today we are taking this dairy delivery from Hot Wheels, the plastic base, and combining it with our Hot Wheels Woody missing a wheel. This was a donation from Somo Diecast for the St. Patrick's Day build because I needed a different color glass, but we are going to chop the front of this off and just use the back of it to make our Bookwerm Wastelands vehicle, because hey, you gotta read, and if you guys saw the Book of Eli, we all know how important books were in the post-apocalyptic world, especially one book, which was the Bible. Spoiler alert, but that movie's probably 20 years old now, so sorry if you didn't see it. But I digress. We are not focusing on the Bible in this build because this build is being made by Devil's Details Diecast, and not a big Bible reader here. In any event, so this guy is going to travel the Wastelands and collect books and distribute them to whoever wants to read, and try to improve their literacy if they want to. Of course, that makes him a target because some people out there don't want educated people running around the Wastelands because they want to rule them. So we're going to have to go with some heavy artillery in the front, which is why I'm going to make a trailer out of the Woody for the back, and I thought the wood paneling on the Woody would make a cool library kind of looking truck to tow behind. So we're going to get that going. Stick around, and let's get cutting. Alright, so here we're back with an update on the Bookwerm with trailer build. Obviously out of the stripper. I found these tires in the fodder bin, so I'm just going to use these again. Like I said in one of my last videos, you don't need to go all out and use expensive tires on Wastelands build. Use up those old tires you have because they're going to get dirtied and muddied up anyway, and nobody's really paying attention to the tires. So I went ahead and had to chop off the front fenders to fit these larger tires here. I wanted the same size as the back for some mobility. So I had to go ahead. Let me just grab this trailer off of here. Nothing's together yet, so we'll put that to the side for now. But I went ahead and chopped off the front fenders so we do get a roller on my uneven table. Again, not that I ever really care about rollers for the Wastelands builds that I do, but I wanted this one to roll for some reason, especially because it's pulling a trailer. So I chopped off the fenders, and then I made some space in the wheel wells. Of course, this is going to expose the wheels, but it is what it is. So haven't really done much modification on the Bookwerm truck itself. Have some ideas. I just haven't worked too much on it. I did add a little trailer hitch with just a little straight pin bent up there and glued between the exhaust pipes. That's pretty much it on the main car so far. I've really been working mostly on the trailer, so as you can tell, the fender piece came out of the stripper. Most of this is going to be all black. I think I'm going to possibly keep the glass inside and paint it black, and obviously the interior is going to be painted black and not this fluorescent yellow, and the tires are most likely going to stay. What I did was just take a piece of styrene and block off the front, as it was obviously exposed, and then I took two pieces of styrene and just made a simple trailer hitch. And this is actually a piece of what do you call it there, the cross stitch mesh. I just cut out a diamond of it to use as the trailer loop. I was going to use a piece of chain, but it was too small to go over the straight pin. So as you can see, even though it's not a circle, it fits over the trailer hitch just fine. and suits the need for it, just as it is. So here's the update here. I'm going to get to work on the main body car here. I might make some drop-out windows here so people can kind of walk up and select what books they want. Kind of stuck because this body does have a split down the middle, so it'd be nice if I could cut out, you know, kind of a bigger square and have this whole side kind of flop down, or even come up kind of like I did on my food truck. But being that this has this metal reinforcement piece in the middle, I may kind of be stuck with just going halfway down, which would kind of be tall for people to walk up to in the Wastelands, being that this guy's on a base, so I don't know. We'll see how it looks. Just going to put a little more thought into how people are going to access the Bookwerm library. So that's it for the update. Stick around and we'll show you more. So some people ask me why I named my channel Devil's Details Diecast. For one of the main reasons is I've always been a fan of the motto, the devil is in the details. And being a diorama builder for close to 20 years or so, I was always known for having a lot of detail in my dioramas. And when it came to the Bookwerm build, I was going to leverage my buddy Chuck over at Flying Valiant to 3D print me some books. And as much as I love to give him the business, and I love to give fellow customizers and people in the diecast community business, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to try to scratch build pretty much everything on this build this time. And while I will be using some 3D printed parts on this build for like guns and maybe some fuel cans and whatnot, I decided to take a stab at making the books. And that's what I did. So I took some thick styrene and I just cut it into scale. I used one of my figures, and I mean, they're a little bit like, these would probably be like coffee table book sizes, but I wanted them to at least be visible inside the dairy truck. Of course, you can take a little bit of liberties because books can be any size, but that's all I basically did was took a piece of styrene, cut up a bunch of squares, took my paint markers, and painted the splines, or the spines, whatever you call them, and also painted just the ends, even though they're really not going to be visible. But again, devil's in the details. If somebody happens to be able to look inside, they will see that the ends are painted. And the back of the books are going to be facing the wall of the casting, so you're not going to see those at all. Besides, they'd be white anyway. And then I took a piece of wire, made a little bracket to hold them in there while he's driving, and another piece of styrene for the base. So, you know, 3D printing's great, and it's come a long way in the hobby, and it's made a lot of things a lot easier, and I use it a lot, and I know a lot of guys do too, but I also feel like I get more satisfaction out of being able to scratch build stuff and come up with my own methods and try not to rely so much on 3D printing when I don't have to. I mean, some things I just don't feel like recreating. I mean, everybody can make barrels out of round styrene, crates out of square styrene if we really wanted to, but sometimes it's just not worth the time or the effort. You know, we might not have all the time in the world to make these things, and you know, getting 50 barrels for, you know, $10 or something, you know, you'd probably be stocked for quite a while and not really have to worry about taking your time making each individual barrel or each individual crate or each individual gun, etc., etc. So anyway, I just wanted to share my method for making these books, and maybe give you guys some inspiration on making your own props. And I'm going to go ahead and get this installed in the main casting of the Bookwerm, so stick around. And if you remember, this is what we started with. The dairy delivery from Hot Wheels with the plastic base. And the Hot Wheels Woody, well, gonna be half of a Hot Wheels Woody once we're finished. And here's what we came up with. And here it is, folks. The Bookwerm Mobile Wastelands Library. As you see, we have a rolling caravan, trailer, and sleeping quarters, and what I like to call the Scholastic Book Truck. You guys remember that from grade school? We'll go over each piece. Excuse me. Go over each piece one at a time. This, of course, is the main body of the caravan. We have a mocked-up, belt-fed, remote-controlled Top Gun here. Of course, being the librarian of the Wastelands, this guy has a lot of time to read up on munitions and guns, and he got some scrap pieces and made himself a nice protective weapon up top. You know, as I've been saying, of course, through the Wastelands, there are some people out there who don't want people to be educated. So they are trying to hunt down some of these guys who are trying to educate the people and trying to make books available to people. So he does have a little bit of defense here. He did weld on a strong pipe on the front. Of course, we have the skull, obligatory skull. And then he does have this flip-up defense here, which if you look inside, you can see some of the books on the bookshelf. It's a little tough to see, but that's why I showed you guys when I was building it, so you could get a good look at it. But I think it looks pretty cool, and of course adds a pop of color on the inside. And I was thinking about doing some decals or some artwork on the side to show that he is a book dealer, but I remembered my laws of the Wastelands and decided to instead do kind of a secret society mark right where my thumb is, and did a copper B with a copper paint pen. And I figured it was incognito enough where if he was just kind of parked somewhere, wouldn't really be noticeable, but maybe he has like a secret society that supports him. And, you know, if somebody, contacts the secret society, they can give him the clue and say, hey, look for the truck with the B on it. And that would tip them off that they can get some books from this guy, or trade books, or do whatever. He doesn't sell books. He just gives them away or trades them for other books. It's like a barter system. And the B would stand for Bookworm, obviously. I didn't do any defense really on the back because he is towing a trailer. So most of the time, putting any kind of defensive stuff in the back would be a moot point because, you know, he's not going to really be able to do anything about it because he's going to have the trailer in the back. And again, here's the trailer part here. He's got a little chest up front, a trunk up front for some of his belongings. He does keep extra books back here, and also this is his sleeping quarters. It's got a little bucket, barrel on the back for some drinking water or usable water. Another crate up top. A little bit of a trunk up top as well for some more storage. And he does have a cellular antenna on the back here for when he is actually near any kind of power source. He can hook up and try to contact the secret society to let him know where he's going to be if anybody's around trying to look for some books. Front windows do roll up at night. He does leave them open during the day for fresh air in there. This is his sleeping quarters as well, so he does want to let some air in there. But they do roll up at night for safety. And once in a while he does try to travel with a companion to just have an extra set of eyes, overnight to keep the truck safe. So that's my story on the Bookworm Caravan Traveling Library. I hope you enjoyed the build. I had a lot of fun building it. As always, this will be available on eBay. The link is in the description below, so if you would like to own this, click on that and throw in a bid. And we'll see you on the next one.